Now we're going to do write owner over Agenta. Okay, so we have added ourselves as a county group. If I go to help here, I go to links abuse. We see we have owner edit and also DACL edit. One thing with this, as of note, is all of this owner edit, DACL edit, these are all part of the shutdown repo and Impact. I do have a full video on installing that shutdown repo from Impact. All right. So let's go ahead and grab that owner edit or grabbing what you need to grab from that shutdown repo. So let's go ahead and we'll throw this in there. Now I have all of mine already set up to where they can obviously be called for without having to give it the full path. All right, our owner, who is our attacker, is going to be Dara Lindy because she actually falls within that group, right? Our target or our victim is going to be, let's see here, looks like Argenta Etta. Now if we just right click on her, we can go ahead and grab this. So we don't have to try to remember it. And then obviously our last part here, which is our domain, user, and password. So we just go ahead and grab from up top. We're just going to put a colon in instead of a percent then sign. So we're just going to do something like this. So we can go ahead and hit enter here. Hopefully we get out the first try. All right, so owner is unrecognized now. All right, let me see here. It is now, it's not going to be new owner, I don't believe. Or it actually may be new owner. Like I said, some of these are older commands. Okay, there we go. So it's new order now. So we got our new order there. Okay, so now we own this user, this Jetta Erda. Okay, we now own that user. So if we continue to look at this write owner, okay, we can do a DACL edit, all right, which will then allow us, lastly, to be able to change that user's password. So now what we want to do is the DACL edit, all right. We're going to do our action write. Writes full control because we own the user, but now we want to get full control over that user, right? So our principal, our controlled user, who is Dara, that's who we control, right? Our target user, who is the one that we're conducting the attack against, which is Agenta. And then lastly, our domain and then the password, right? So we go ahead and get rid of all that. We go ahead and copy it from the top up here. We just take that like right there. We'll throw that down here. We'll enter. All right, now DACL has now been modified. Now that we have modified that DACL, we can now conduct a targeted Kerberos, or we could also do a force change password. Let's go ahead and try that targeted Kerberos first, even though I don't think we're going to be able to get a crack their password, but we'll give it a quick try. All right, so we got invoke.local, our controlled user, okay, who is Dara, right? Because we haven't changed that person's password yet, we don't know it. And her password is Edward. We can go ahead and try that, okay? And it doesn't really seem to like that targeted Kerberos like right there, although it did see the Sissy Lynette. It did see that like right there, so it is saying, hey, we do actually have target Kerberos on a couple people here, but it didn't really seem to like that very much. And we also got her too, but it just doesn't seem to like it. So what we'll go ahead and we'll do is we'll just do a force change password, and we'll use NetRPC to be able to force change her password. So our target user, all right? That's going to be who we want to attack here. Good boy, Dragunov. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll take this user like right here. Now remember, Windows does not care on a username about case sensitivity. We'll give her a new password of PSNSW0 ! Another thing to realize is that you do need to follow what Windows says the password rules are. You do need to follow those. So don't just throw in something all willy-nilly. That's right, I said willy-nilly. Fight me. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll copy that up there. We'll throw this down here, right? And then we'll throw in lastly our domain controller IP address. Oh, actually we just got clock skew 2 great. So I'm actually going to try that one more time. 0.19 because we're actually getting clock skew 2 great. So as we learned in our last video, we know how to do something with that, right? And since we did not get anything back down here, we did just change that user's password just to check like real quick. I like just do a quick NXCSMB. On there, tech U, this user like right here, tech P, and we can see that we can log in through SMB, so we have now changed that user's password. Now, since we got this clock skew2 grid up here, what we can do is just like we did in our last video, we go ahead and do our target Kerberos again. Now, this time it will obviously work because we now changed her password to something that, we know, right? But we can go ahead and do our sudo ntp date, hit enter there, and then hit enter up here. And there we go. We have now done a target Kerberos attack. We can grab all these hashes like right here. What we can also do is just try to save that to a file, okay? But we get a bunch of hashes in here, right? And we can try to crack those hashes. Now remember, something as of note, if we go to echo that whole thing into hash.txt, it's going to freeze for like a second because there's so much crap in there. All right. Something of note is that hashcat now, you do not need to do that tag M anymore as long as they can figure out what the hash is. Okay. So we do see that we do crack one password, which we did crack before with a get user SPN. I actually don't even know if that PSNSSW0RD exclamation points even, it isn't there. Okay. So we've now cracked her password, which we just changed, so we already knew it. But that is what can happen whenever you have right owner over, even from a group, because we belong to that group, right? Our Daria owner belongs to a county group over a user. So now we can do whatever we want to that Agenta user. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll talk to you all later.